So then we're in for another week of SBCs, and I must admit, we are in a very specific zone now, because Galazzo, just look at the prices. They are absolutely nuts, which is making a lot of these not really worth it, to be honest. So let's run through them anyway. The big first one that we want to go through is this man. Now, when we look at his SBC specifically, we are looking at a whopping 1.44 mil. Now, I know you don't really want to put the market value versus an SBC, but the difference in this price is just mind-blowing. 1.4 mil SBC or 700k, and he's still dropping. That is a higher rated, a 5.5. Granted, like we said, he's on the market, so you've actually got to buy him with coins. You can't do SBC fodder for him. But the problem you've got now is, so if you're looking to improve your team, make sure you're heading over to lootbar.gg. They are the best and most reliable coin service you can find. Also with the best 24-hour manual customer service that you physically cannot find anywhere else. But before finishing on lootbar.gg, make sure you are using the code JT11, 8% off your first ever transaction, and then 5% off every time after that. Once you've gone through the payment, you'll be able to get your coins within the next 24 hours, absolutely guaranteed. Also with the code, you'll be able to get 5% more coins on every transaction. Make sure you do click the link either in the description or down in the comment section below. Is he worth it alongside all of the others as well? Because we do have a lot of high rated SBCs, so it's not as if he's the only 1.4 mil SBC that we could just grind over time. And a lot of people are getting the Roberto Carlos from the Supreme Pack. So it's now to the point of, is the Future Star even worth it? To be fair, I'm very surprised they even gave it to him, to be honest. With him having one literally a couple of weeks back, I'm surprised they've gone one more up. Obviously, they've given him the 5.5, but now I'm thinking, where is the value sitting at? Because 1.4, it's not the worst in the world, I would have said, for Roberto Carlos until this card came out. So I think if I was looking at this card and thinking, well, if he was great value before, he was sometimes a must complete, I don't think I could drop him into the might as well. And I don't even know if I want him in the don't complete, because if you've got the 93, then obviously you don't need him. That's fine. But if you don't have the 93 and you wanted a Roberto Carlos, and you're not going to grind out for the actual pack version, because he's still hard to get, even if he's 700k and relatively cheap in comparison to some of the top cards. He's still very hard to get. It's not as if everybody's getting him. So I think if we're looking at him now, I'm going to go just with okay value purely on that 700k. But the SBC still is a decent SBC. It's just for the factor that now we've got a new version of him, and unfortunately it has taken the spotlight. Then we also have a few others in the Player of the Months. So if we go over to SBCs, we'll have a look at them players. So when we're looking at these, we've obviously got a fair few of the Player of the Months. So we've obviously got an 18k 88 rated Eredivisie. We obviously have Vinny coming in at 1.03. We then have the latest Player of the Months, which is only 25 hours left for Huijland. We've only got 27 hours left for Dybala as well. Then we've got Wirtz, and we've also got Les, who's got 19 days. 15k, 126, 135, and 72. So when we kind of go with that, if I was going for must completes kind of going into it now, when it comes to fodder, looking at the prices of everybody as well now, 88's the lowest 88 you could physically get is now 13,000 coins. That's a lot cheaper than what it was prior. So when we're looking at 6k, 5.7 for 86s, that is absolutely nuts with where the market's at the moment. So I don't know if I'd go completely must complete, but they are incredible value for the card. So if you are giving up just some random untradeable fodder, you are making a decent deal back. When it comes to the likes of Vinny, it is a shame for him, because I do think any other time, literally a month ago, a couple of weeks ago, maybe even during Team of the Season, this would have been a beautiful card to get. And the problem, we've had so many top SBCs. It happened with Mbappe. It's almost like if an Mbappe, a Messi, a CR7, a Vinny wins, they go absolutely all in on all SBCs. Luckily for Mbappe, we had obviously the Thunderstruck promo, the Black Friday, where everything was just packs. With Vinny, it's definitely the same, but at also the same time, is there any need for him? I personally don't need him in the squad, especially when you've got the likes of Mia Hamm already there. People have done Eusebio, people have done Mbappe. Ronaldinho's come in today or tomorrow, which is nuts in itself. So I do think he is great value for him, but he should have been a must complete. He really should have been. Reece James has got a few days left. He is easily a must complete. Then we look at Højlund. We look at the obviously great value players. I must admit, when we're looking at some of these, I would kind of just go, I'd still go with no, to be honest. He just really isn't worth the price, especially you do have him cheaper because obviously everything has gone down in value, but he still isn't worth it. I just think 126 for Verts 89 is just not the one. You go get Reece James for 175 and at least you're getting a bit of value back. When we look at the rest of them, we obviously got relatively cheap, 67, 42, 40, 27. I mean, it's definitely not the worst values in the world. They're an easy one for me. I think we'll go with Luke in the okay value. The other two, just because he's a little bit more expensive at 67, he's not quite on that same level, being very, very cheap. We then also have the new Kondogbia. I did see this and thought, are we having a Road to the Final promo? But we have got another one in, I want to say it was Guendouzi, but I could be wrong now. I think it might have been somebody else coming as a Road to the Final as well. That is just to kind of bring the cards together now that the qualifiers, or is it the group stage that is done basically. So it will be interesting to see where he goes. 98,000. He obviously can be upgraded, so I think that for me is okay value. I wouldn't say it's absolutely crazy. The card itself is moderate really. He kind of needs to be at that top level in Marseille to really kind of push on, and now he's lost already one upgrade. He's still got to get to the final to really make a dent in his appearance. We also have another pundit pick, 26,000 for an 88. I mean, it's not the worst in the world. At least they've gone for relatively cheap. 85 on the SBC. I mean, it's not terrible. Whipped pass and also quick step. He also can go into that 88 evolution to make him 89. So that is always an extra bonus for him. I think that's pretty good value to me. I wouldn't say must complete, but it's decent enough. And then when we are looking at that sort of kind of vibe where you're going from the SBC into the 88, we're looking at Hudson-Odoi. 215, not a bad card whatsoever. He obviously can again go into that 89 as well, so you can get an 88 into an 89 for absolute free. Maximum is 88, so that is going to be a brilliant upgrade in itself. Quick step and also into a finesse. If we was to have more evolutions, I think he could be a must complete, to be honest. We look at the pace, 93, 91 shooting, 90 passing, 90 on the dribbling, and 82 physical. Composure side of stuff is the only thing that lets him down, in my opinion, and it's what it would take him from the must complete into great value for me. And I think the great value is mainly because of that extra bonus of an upgrade as well. You get an 89 rated card if you didn't want to put anything else in. Camera, nice card as well, 80,000 coins. I think he's got brilliant stats across the board. He's one of them ones that just comes in, he's a squad foundation. You never know what you're going to get from him, but the fact that he's in Ligue 1 as well is even better. He's got himself the intercept and power shot, 80,000 coins, you might as well. Again, another one that can go into that 89, and it just makes him that little bit better. So, not a bad shout. Ginola. Now, Ginola is one of them ones, I think right now, I probably would say don't complete. Purely on the basis that you just don't need him. I really don't think you need him with Ronaldinho coming out, with Ginola and kind of the, almost the extra, what is it? It's the first impressions of what I got from the SBC. People didn't really rate him that much this year. And to be fair, I haven't really seen him. As soon as Mbappe's SBC came out, Eusebio, even Cantona, 20 minutes after Cantona came out, I saw him straight away. I could probably count on the hands how many times I've seen Ginola compared to Alwaran, Eusebio, Dalglish, Mbappe, Maldini. They are the players that everybody does, and you can get a sort of vibe from whether the SBC is being complete or not. Granted, you could get him in a pack still, so there could be people who have got him just from the player picks or upgrade packs, which is fair enough. But I must admit, with this SBC now, I don't know if I would complete it, especially with Team of the Season so close. I think I would much rather go for a Mia Hamm or a Ronaldinho. instead. And that is just a personal opinion. I can imagine a lot of people will be different about it, but I think right now with where the market's at, it's a very minefield game. They are trying to take as much fodder from you for team of the season. It's of course what they are going to do. Now, Warren and Marquez, I think, are fantastic value for both of them. Marquez obviously could have gone into the Heroic Chronicles, which would have made him a 91. That has now gone, so the SBC itself is still very good in value, and the fact that both of them have 8 weeks to go is incredible. I think over time, they are a must complete if you haven't got the 93-hour Warren. That's an obvious, to be honest. And then we move over to some of the icons. So how many days have we got left? We have got, the future stars are going. So we've got 3 days, 6, 10, 11. We then go into the 5 weeks, and then everybody else has got a lot of time. So most of these, the 5 weeks, should go well into team of the season, meaning we should be able to see a lot of cheap fodder. A lot of the kind of lower team of the season that are 89 to 92, where we pack them over and over again. That is going to be fantastic for a lot of these high-rated cards. So that is always to be put into consideration, but we will do that once team of the season is actually here. Now, if I was going through it, we have got Mia Hamm. I think over time she's a must complete. Easily, she's a 5/5. She's basically like an R9 this year. To be honest, I always prefer R9, even playing with both of them in the same team, out of the same team. R9 is always going to be better. In-game, his body type is just absolutely perfect. But don't get that fooled, because Mia Hamm is incredible. They have really taken to her and put her as an absolute monster going forward. Then we have Essien and Cantona. See, with Essien, I liked him. I think he'd be on that level with Makalele, in my opinion. He's a little bit more expensive. Obviously, he's coming in at 870, whereas Makalele comes at 670. I would kind of put him more towards on this level. I think they are very good value, but I wouldn't say they are absolute must-completes. Whereas Cantona, I probably would. I've played with him now for a few games. We've got him done. 1.3 mil. He's a decent card. He's very, very good. Still not the 5/5 that I wanted, but most definitely when you look at the card, great pace, shooting, pass inside the upgrade, dribbling's phenomenal, physicality is phenomenal as well. It is only that 5-star weak foot that is stopping this card, and maybe the playstyle pluses could be a little bit better, but I still think he is well worth it. We then have Torres. He can still get in the bin. I'd probably even go the same for Ribery. If you've not done any of these icons yet, and Ronaldinho is coming out today, I personally would drop any left wing and get Ronaldinho done. It's one of them. I've got Coman at the moment. I paid 600 or 800k for him, whatever it was. Ronaldinho's getting done. He is just a magician on that left wing. So unfortunately for Ribery, unfortunately for Ginola, if Ronaldinho is coming today and it's the Thunderstruck as well, everything's getting dropped. Ronaldinho is getting done. Then we still have, obviously, the future stars. Like we said, they've only got a few days left. Shevchenko, I still think all of them are in absolutely fantastic value. I personally don't think Baggio is. Cannavaro is still in very good value for the price that we're actually paying. And same with Rijkaard. I don't know if I'd quite say any of them are worth absolutely doing, but I would say they're in at least the good value slot. They've got to be. Jarzinho, how much is he coming out now? What's the price dropped for him, in fact? Because there's got to be at a point now where he is a lot cheaper than previously. So he's coming in 1.5. I'm pretty sure he was up to like the 1.82 mil. Again, not a bad card. I like the upgrade for him is fantastic. Bar from the Playstyle Pluses, in my opinion. I'd still say he's decent value. For the card that you're getting, maybe could be dropping down a little bit with the new card. Socrates is an easy one. I think he's just absolutely perfect value. Yashin, 1.26. To be honest, at this point, I don't even know if I'd do him, to be honest. I think with the centre-backs that we've got, with Vidic, with obviously Cordoba, with, who's the other one? Sol Campbell, and I can't remember who the last one is. Who did we just get? Vidic, Sol Campbell. Let's have a find out. I can't remember who it is. I think it's in this week's. Desai, absolutely incredible centre-backs. They are brilliant. And even Kohler, to be honest. And the price is literally half. That's the problem with this promo. It's made the SBCs really look terrible. So if I'm being brutal, I don't think Yashin makes it in either. Then we look at somebody like a Hadji and a Beckham. Beckham is now out after the complete mess that they made of him, making him tradable and then making him untradeable. He's coming in at 465. I think that is a brilliant value. And then obviously with Hadji at 414. Again, very good value for the SBC. We're going in great. And Beckham, I'd put in there as he's got 5 weeks left. He's got to be a must complete at some point. And that is going to be the list. Let me know down below what you think. Ronaldinho will always be a must complete if he does come out today. And I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.